Hello, I'm back for the final time. Let me adjust the camera quickly. I'm back for the final time, and we are now going to talk about the effects of long-term exercise on cardiac and respiratory. So, both systems. So, first thing I'm going to look at is the cardiac hypertrophy, which occurs in the heart. This is basically where the walls of the heart get thicker, especially around the left ventricle. So, if the walls of the heart get thicker, it means that the heart can contract harder. If the heart can contract harder, it means the stroke volume is increased. Now, the stroke volume is the amount of blood pumped out the heart per beat. So if the heart can contract harder, it can force more blood out through the left ventricle with each beat. Now, if it can pump more blood out through with each beat, it means that if the heart rate is increased, it's getting more blood out per minute, so the cardiac output is increased. If it's getting more blood out per minute, it means that the blood volume is also increased. If the blood volume is increased, it means more O2 is getting to the muscle sites quicker. If more blood is getting to the muscle sites quicker, it means there's more O2 available for gaseous exchange or diffusion through the capillaries. Another way we are able to help with supplying the muscles with oxygen is there is increased capillarization. And what does this mean? Capillarization is basically the number of capillaries within the body increases. If the number of capillaries in the body increases, it means there is a greater area for diffusion to take place. If there is a greater area for diffusion to take place, it means more oxygen can not only go into the muscle, but more CO2 can also come out and be exhaled, which I'll come on to in a minute. Now, also, if all that is able to happen, so if there's cardiac hypertrophy happens, capillarization happens, the greater stroke volume, the greater cardiac output, it will all mean that we are able to work harder for longer because the muscles are being supplied with oxygen. There is a great amount of blood being supplied, so we can take away the oxygen quicker. Now, also, bradycardia occurs. Bradycardia is basically where the resting heart rate is lowered to about 60 beats per minute. If the resting heart rate is lowered, it means there's less strain on the heart when resting. So the heart is not able to work it hard because it is because of the cardiac hypertrophy. At rest, the heart is still able to pump out a greater volume of blood, greater stroke volume, but the heart rate is lowered because it doesn't have to work as hard as, say, a non-trained heart. Now, also, because of cardiac hypertrophy, the max heart rate is higher. So instead of your heart rate, being 180 beats per minute at maximum, you're able to get up to 200 beats per minute maximum, which means your cardiac output is also increased as well, which means more blood is getting to the necessary sites. Now, also, there is the blood volume increases as there is an increase in blood plasma. Blood plasma is basically the watery part of the blood. If blood plasma increases, it means the blood is less viscous, and thus it can run through the body quicker. And if more blood is able to run through the body quicker, it means that more blood being produced. There's no backlog, for want of a better word. This will also mean that there is a reduced blood pressure, because obviously there is a greater amount of blood plasma, thus a less viscosity in the blood. What else we got? A condition called athlete's heart occurs, which is kind of basically a posh way, not an unposh way of saying about cardiac hypertrophy and basically athlete's heart, the heart size increased. So basically, instead of your heart being that big, it might be that big within your chest. And that, to be honest, is all I really have to say about the heart. So, we will now move on to the respiratory effects. Now then, just give me a second to change my notes over. That one, and where are we? That one? No. Now, during exercise, obviously your breathing rate increases, and when your breathing rate increases, you allow more air to pass through your lungs. You also allow more air to come out your lungs. I'll get to that in a minute. If more air is allowed to pass into your lungs, it means that more oxygen is available for diffusion in the alveoli, into the capillaries, into the bloodstream, so on and so forth. Now, the volume of air passing to your lungs is known as the volume of air passing to your lungs each minute is known as the minute volume, which is your breathing rate times your tidal volume, and your tidal volume is the amount of air that can you take in one breath. So that'll be measured. That's your tidal volume. Now, if your minute volume is able to increase, you're able to take in more oxygen. If you're able to take in more oxygen, it means you have more oxygen available for diffusion and thus able for energy production. Now, both aerobic and anaerobic exercises can increase your tidal volume because you need air for both exercises, both types of exercises. Also, you'll have an increased vital capacity. The vital capacity is basically the absolute maximum amount of oxygen you can take in each breath, and your reserve as well. So your tidal volume is your vital volume is basically the full amount. So it's the amount I breathe in plus the reserve I have in my oxygen. If that's able to increase, it means you again have more oxygen available to use. Also, you have increased strength in your abdominal and skeletal muscles. Intercostal muscles, not skeletal muscles. So around your lungs. This will mean that you're able to breathe in harder with a greater amount of force. So you're able to take in more oxygen again, and you're able to breathe out with a greater force, which helps because if you can take in more, as I keep saying, if you can take in more oxygen, you have more oxygen to use, and also if you can exhale greater, you're able to get rid of CO2. Thus, OBLA will be delayed. Also, the oxygen diffusion rate will increase. If the oxygen diffusion rate is able to increase, it means you can get more oxygen into the bloodstream quicker, and thus go into the necessary muscle sites quicker. Thus, you're able to oxidate the muscles quicker, and therefore they will be able to reproduce the energy quicker. As they will be able to break down glycogen quicker without having to go through the process of beta oxidation. And also, therefore, you're able to take back the CO2 quicker because you're able to exhale it easier. And I think, to be honest, that's about all I have to say. So that's been my Assessment 1 video on physiology fitness. Cheers. Bye.